Shalom, shalom. Oh, let me see if I'm on here. A little bit to the right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, all praise. Hold on. This side. All halayim, Yahweh, Barashim, Yahweh Shah, Barashim, Hakadosh, Barak Thom. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Alright, it's a little brother here, Shema Shawan, with another camp video. On Ratazah, be edifying. Alright, today's video, today's camp, we're going to go hit a little bit of many different topics, some various topics. A little bit of World War III, a little bit of the news, a little bit of colleges, and how colleges put our people into slavery and sold our people into slavery. Alright, and we're just going to keep moving from there. Alright, so what we're going to start off with first and foremost is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Alright, so this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. Alright, and that word Satan means adversary. Alright, not always spiritual demon Satan, but spiritual demon Satan's physical counterpart, which is Esau Edom, aka the white man today. Alright, they are Satan's physical counterpart. They are the most adverse people against the Most High. They're the most adverse to the Most High among all the nations. That's why they're called the wicked. Alright, as well as Satan, as well as the serpent. Alright, because they were the serpent back then. They were that serpent that deceived Eve with the tree of good and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is not a fucking apple. Alright, that tree just represents philosophies. Okay? Esau came, alright, that was that Esau demonic ass spirit, that wicked ass spirit back then, and it's still around to this day. Alright? He also came back as Cain. Market Cain, his leprosy, came back again as Esau, just roughly saying. Alright? Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We are not ignorant. To be ignorant means that you don't really know. Alright? We know Satan's devices. Alright? Today that's pretty much going to be this entire camp. Satan's devices going into his ways, his works, the things that he devises. Okay? The things that he puts and creates into his mind, his love, his heart. Alright. So we're going to start off first with a little article from the Daily News. Alright. This is NewYorkDailyNews.com, September 24th, 2021, September 24th, 2021, by Michael Gartland. Avalanche of failure. Physician residents detail horrible conditions at New York City public hospitals, plead for help. Physician residents in New York City's public hospital system issued a stinging indictment Friday of conditions they and their patients face in hospitals, and demand the city intervene to fix what one described as a recipe for disaster and what another called an avalanche of failure. Alright, so clearly these residents are being mistreated by more than likely these Edomite healthcare workers, physician residents, someone that helps, take care of someone's body. Physio, body, physician, they take care, that's what they deal with. Alright? More than a dozen current and former residents of the city's Health Plus Hospital network testified at a city council hearing focused on conditions at hospital residency programs, and they delved into a wide range of problems, including low pay, shifts that last more than 24 hours, and racial disparities in the care patients receive. Alright, so it's obviously the J patients are receiving worse care or subpar care compared to these Edomite patients. Alright, this is why the scriptures say this. I'm going to go ahead and get it. For one of all things. One of all things. This is the book of this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Actually, I'm gonna go start at verse 47. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Most High, thy power, with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, because we did not serve our power, these curses came upon us. Alright? We were going off. Okay, we're serving other heathen, us as a nation, not all of us. But us as a nation, we were serving heathen gods. We were serving heathen ways, following after their customs, following heathen customs, serving Baal, doing Moloch worship. Alright? So giving our children to Moloch. Alright, sacrificing our children. Okay? In today's sense, in the sense of today, you know, you're serving these fake Christians, these fake images of Christ. Okay, Christ is not a white man. Okay, Christ is a dark-skinned man pertaining to the scriptures, pertaining to Revelation chapter 1 and many other scriptures. Song of Solomon, chapter 5, around there. You know, my love is dazzling and white. That doesn't mean white. Okay, that means dazzling, meaning he sparkles, he shines. Okay, he shines. Another word for calling someone another proverb, so to speak, which is in the same chapter, that should be called a proverb in the byword. Another word for black or for a so-called Negro is calling them shine. All right, and the reason they call it shines is because of our melanin. Our melanin makes us very dark skin, and we shine in the sun. You know, that's why they call it shines. We're like the color of burnt brass. I was the same description given to Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was a dark-skinned man. He's no blanco. He's no gringo. Okay, el gringo is no mi amigo. He's no mi amigo. Okay, el gringo is mi adversario. Alright? Not my friend, he's my enemy. Alright, he wants to kill my people and destroy us. As we're going to go into. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, in the nakedness and in want of all things. And what goes in part in that one of all things that we have to go to our enemies for is medicine. When we're sick, when we have certain plagues, certain diseases, okay, because that's also in the same chapter that the Most High will give us diseases and plagues, we have to go to the white man's hospital. We have to get his medicine that's pure poison. Okay, that word pharmakia, when you go look at Revelation chapter 18, verse 23, his sorceries, okay, for by thy sorceries have all nations been deceived, roughly paraphrased, which I'm going to go into after this. Okay, that word is pharmakia. Alright, the same word for pharmacy, for pharmacy. Okay, all those drugs is mere sorcery. It doesn't do shit. It may attempt to lower the immune response, alright, for certain diseases, for certain things. That's roughly the pathway for certain diseases. They cause an inflammatory response, will cause the body to almost damage itself. And these Edomites try to make these drugs, alright, and try to, you know what I'm saying, try to, lower your body's inflammatory response. But what they don't tell you is that in those drugs, a lot of the herbs that you find in nature are found in the same drugs that they're giving our people in the medical system. Alright? The only thing is that the herbs don't give you side effects. These drugs got a whole bunch of other bullshit mixed with them because it's manufactured in a fucking lab. Alright, and they created it that way so that they can kill you, as we're going to keep on going into. You know, that's why they keep giving it to our people. Alright? Book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. He should put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until you have destroyed thee. And that happened during slavery. Okay, they tried their best to destroy us. But we can't forget that in prophecy, that dead bodies will lie in the streets for roughly about 3 years, 3.5 months, or roughly quoting 3.5 years, which is around 350 years. Going from 1619 to the 1970s. This is when Allah Bivens came on the scene, began to tell us, that we are the children of Israel. And I'm gonna go back to the article, and then I'm going to bring out more pieces. There's too much stuff swirling around in my head at the moment. So I'm just going to go back to the article, and I'm going to relax. I'm going to relax. So, more than a dozen current and former residents of the city's Health Plus Hospitals network testified at a city council hearing focused on conditions at hospital residency programs, and they delved into a wide range of problems, including low pay, shifts that last more than 24 hours, and racial disparities in the care patients receive. All right, now, so we just went out into Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. All right, we were sent to our enemies. We're forced to come to our enemies in one of all things, including medicine. Okay, and when we go to these medical systems, they fuck us over big time. They give us these drugs. All right, they overwork our people when we work at these hospitals. I mean, they had people working here over 24 hours, giving them very low pay and lots of work. You know, the scriptures tell you, for Israelites, our customs, which we're going to put on the heathens as well when we take over them, all right, that you're supposed to give someone their day pay the day of. You're supposed to pay someone day by day. You're not supposed to pay someone a week later. You're supposed to pay them day by day so they can have enough to eat, enough to sustain themselves day by day. Not giving someone fucking money a week later. What the fuck is $200 2 weeks from now gonna help? You know, I got expenses I gotta pay for right now. You know. Moving on. Dr. Hannah Marshall, a 30-year resident at Kings County Hospital, which serves mostly black residents in central Brooklyn, pointed out that not only is staff spread too thin, but that the lack of resources is hurting her patients' health. All right, and that's actually true. You know, stress is a killer. That's true. You know, stress can make your body have a harder time to recover from whatever ailment you're dealing with, or it can make it harder for your body to deal with. You know, we're going to get a quick scripture. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 20. Yeah, start at verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. Alright, a great millstone, which you're going to go into further on. It's like a nuclear missile. What this is, in the ancient world, right? Starting with the ancient world, I'll just go into it real quick. A millstone was like something that you would use for war. You know, it was a big ass stone. You could push it on enemies, and it would crush them, alright, and kill them. Okay. Verse 21. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, "Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all." Alright, this great millstone is not an actual big-ass stone. It's going into the nuclear missiles. Okay, because that nuclear missile is going into the sea, which when you go into, the great whore Babylon, sitting upon many waters at sea as a people, that great millstone is going to come into the sea, and come into this people, alright, to America, Babylon the Great, and absolutely destroy it. Alright, that's why the angel said, "Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. It shall be found no more at all." Now when you read another chapter of Revelation, it says, Babylon has become the habitation of devils, and unclean birds and unclean spirits. Which is going into that America is going to be left as a smoldering pit of fire. America is going to be destroyed and nuked, but no one is going to live here anymore. Alright? Verse 22. And the voice of harpers and musicians and the pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. Alright? That means no more music, no more mirth. That's why when you go into the scripture here, the place of great confusion. Hold on, let's see if I can get it for you real quick. Mirth. Book of Isaiah chapter 24 verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down and every house is shut up that no man may come in. Alright, which is coming into the time that we're moving in very, very soon, the time of Jacob's trouble. Which we can go get the scriptures in Matthew 24. Depends on how this lesson goes. That's how this camp goes. Alright, this country is He's going to have a day which is going to be like no other, an age. All right, that's going into Jacob's trouble. Martial law. This martial law is already here. Martial law is already here. Give me a second. You know, they already have certain documents out there, REX 84, which is a list of people that they want to put inside the FEMA camps. Martial law is typically already here. You've already seen brothers, you know, make videos about military driving on the roads. Okay, they took all the troops out of Afghanistan and brought them back here. Why? Okay, because the enemy is here in America. Which we're gonna go into that later on. You know, Lord willing, but you know. Moving back into it. Yeah. The city, this is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Okay? The crying for wine is crying for Babylon's, you know, philosophy. It's crying for the American dream. Okay, very soon that's going to end. Okay, leading up to Jacob's trouble. And then after that, you know, the Battle of Armageddon, nukes coming. Okay, World War III, and the end of this country. Okay, it's all going to happen at one time. Armageddon, World War III, nuclear bombs. Before that happens, it needs to be the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. Verse 11. All right, so start verse 12. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. All right. The city is left as destruction. It's left desolate. All right. How the city going to be left desolate? Nuclear fire. Right. That great millstone that the angels are going to throw on this place, that are going to send to this place and utterly destroy it. Like those horsemen, 200,000 that you can read about in Revelation chapter 9. That is talking about an innumerable amount of nuclear missiles that are going to come here and burn this country with fire and absolutely destroy it. Thus saith the Most High. Okay? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 23. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. No more lights, no more flashing lights, no more marriages, no more bridegrooms and people getting fucking married. The mirth of the land is gone, as we just brought out in Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10 and 11. Okay? The mirth of the land is gone. Right? No one's getting fucking married anymore. When the nuclear bombs hit and fucking destroy this place and leave it as a smoldering pit of fire, alright, there's gonna be no more marriages. People aren't gonna get married. People aren't gonna be jumping around and laughing. There's gonna be no more jazz concerts. No more fucking fake Christian churches playing that fucking dumbass organ music. Alright? Singing a new song is not an actual song, you fucking dumb fucks. Alright, that new song is a spiritual song. Okay, it's a song that we're singing, you know, by going into this word. Not an actual song like you're gonna sing, I don't fucking know, Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all. Like, come on, man. You know? Pardon my language. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, and for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Your merchants, all right, which we can read about earlier in the chapter, going into, you know, Babylon the Great delicacies, the souls of men, slaves. What kind of slaves? Mostly Israelite slaves. The first and foremost Israelite slaves that they sold to other nations. Now they did conquer places like Elam. You know, they went into, you know, other various places, you know, and took down the people. They were in China for a certain amount of time, and, you know, Moab and Ammon. You know, but they have the rulership of the entire globe. Alright? They have that is going into Babylon's delicacy. The merchants were the great men of the earth. Right now the merchants are the great men of the earth. You got the fucking the gas companies, the fucking fossil fuel companies that make billions and billions, the banks, central banks, you know, the banking industries, you know, the car, locomotive industries, not locomotives. Used to be locomotives. I guess locomotives also. The shipping, delivery industry, all that shit. That's all Esau Edom. That's Esau Edom's delicacy. That's what Esau Edom owns. Okay, he owns the earth at the moment. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked own the world right now. But there's going to become a time where they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be nuked. Okay? And then the Israelites are going to rise and take their place. All right? We're going to rule forever. Okay? Not just for 10 years, not for 20, forever. All right? And continue to Obadiah chapter 1 and 18. These Edomites, after a certain time period, are going to be all burnt with fire. Every man is going to be killed. All right? And the woman we're going to take for ourselves. All right? We're going to already take them for ourselves. But we're going to kill all the men. All the men are going to be put to death. There's going to be no more Edomites. All right? We're going to rule forever. I'm kind of getting a little ahead of myself. Revelation 18, verse 23. But thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. All right, so let's go into that word sorceries. All right, so the word there for sorceries is pharmakia. All right. G533.1, G5331, pharmakia. All right, the same word for pharmacy. All right, when you go into the scriptures, that word pharmacy is going into sorceries. Pharmakia, sorceries. Okay, these Edomites, these so-called white man today, all right, his sorceries, his pharmacies, his pharmaceutical companies, all right, that goes into sorceries. All sorceries, all lies, it's all fake. Okay, those drugs don't do anything for our people. All right, they actually tear our people down and make us worse. They actually make all people worse when they take these pharmaceutical drugs. All right. So let's go read a little bit here. Pharmakia, the use or the administering of drugs, poisoning, sorcery, natural arts, often found in connection with idolatry, false riot. Of course, it's that as well. You know, they do have certain witch covens. You know, that's why scriptures say, stand now with thine enchantments. These Edomites are known for being witches and warlocks. They create these drugs, okay, and make them as deceptions to deceive our people. Okay, to deceive even their own people, to really deceive everybody. Okay? Metaphor, the deception and seductions of idolatry, no, it's going into use of or administering of drugs, poison. Okay, these drugs are poison. Because the scriptures say this. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 4. The Most High hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Okay, the Most High created medicines out of the earth. The Most High created the herb-yielding seed. Okay, the fruits after their kind. Right, the apple tree after the apple tree. The banana tree after the banana tree. All the fruits after their own, you know, kind of way. Okay, and the herbs, right? A lot of times these Edomites with their medicine and their pharmaceuticals, they'll take the fucking herbs and they'll use them and make them into a powder. But they'll take a little bit of it. So they know that the herbs work, but they're just going to give you a tiny little bit. Okay, just to heal you a little bit. Alright? So then you can come back again. I need to keep you coming back and back and back. Okay? I believe there's a quote out there, a cured patient is a lost patient, is a loss of money. Roughly quoted. You know? And as I said before, for you newer brothers, oh shit, man. You know, for you newer brothers, you know, watch the elders, you know, watch videos on health, you know, GMS videos on health, on what herbs you should take. Watch those videos, take notes, write them down, you know, and you know, just look for the information. I don't want to mention anything right now when I'm out here camping. These heathens don't deserve to hear it. But you look for yourself. You watch Spirit Wind Judah and other channels, you know, and you learn. Alright? So this is the daily news. Back into it. Having to deal with that constant fight for more researchers, for more resources for our patients, for better and just care leads to a moral injury that eventually compounds the stones and burnout. But we can't do anything anymore. Alright? As I said, our voice cracking, we're constantly fighting for our patients against this avalanche of failure, and it leads to general disillusionment and compounds the burnout. It's not just the failure of H&H, it's a failure of the American health care system. Okay? That's all we went into, you know, by the sources of all nations deceived. Right? They got the people thinking that this you know, American country, that this country, America, so-called America, Babylon the Great, actually cares about people. Okay, actually cares about, you know, anyone but itself. Alright? These fucking Edomites, these fucking Americans,
starting with Americans, that's at the top pretty much. They don't care about anyone but themselves. They don't care about the other people. We feed them these drugs and these pharmaceutical drugs and these fucking concoctions that make you worse by the end. Hold on, let's see if I'm all good here. Alright, we're all good. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that chapter, on that on that article. We're gonna go ahead and switch, and we're gonna get another article. We're just gonna go into it, Just give me a second here. And we're gonna make a little switch. We'll talk about other topics. Alright, so we pretty much made the point on that. These devils want to kill us all. They wanna give us these fucking pharmaceutical drugs. But that really ain't all of it. There's much more that they're trying to do, that they attempted to do. We're going to start again with 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Alright? We're going to read that again. We're going to go bring out more information. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Alright? Let's say you should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Alright? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Once again, we're not ignorant of his ways. Alright? So, this is a book I picked up recently. Alright, that a brother, the brother knows who he is, recommended that I go pick up, called Ebony and Ivory Race, Slavery and the Troubled History of America's Universities. Alright, and we're just going to go into a little bit of it. Alright, the book is pretty much about, slavery. How these colleges funded slavery and were active participants in it. Alright, that's why the scriptures say this. Now the wheels are turning again. This is the book of, I'm just going to get out this. Out the Apocrypha. This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, and no, it's actually 2 Maccabees, I think. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter. It's like 2 Maccabees, chapter 1, or 1 Maccabees, chapter. Let me see here. Slovakia. Yeah, this is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, and I'll start at verse 6. Actually, I'll start at verse 1 just so we get the context. We're just doing. In those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joachim from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. Alright, this is talking about the time period Antiochus the fourth Epiphanes took us down as a people. Alright, you can read about that history. I went into it last week in Daniel chapter 8. That little horn that rolls up in Daniel chapter 8, that little horn is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, how he cast the truth to the ground. He oppressed our people. He said, pretty much if you didn't serve his ways and go after his ways, that he would put you to death, that he would torture you. Okay, in that time period, is moving again. It's going to happen again today. All right, these devils in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, the devil has come upon you having great wrath, for he knows he has but a short time. Alright, this devil knows he has but a short time. He's going to come upon us during the time of Jacob's trouble as well. Some of us are going to have to be put to death for this, and be martyred, alright, for this truth, for this word, and for the testimony. Alright, moving back into it. This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 1. Alright, in those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, the priest of the sons of Joachim, Joachim from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons: Johanan, called Caius, Simon, called Pazi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus. Maccabeus means hammer, by the way.
Eleazar called Avram, and Jonathan, whose surname was Apis. And these were the kind of the brothers that kind of came together, and they were the kind of the forefronts to head of the Maccabean Revolution. Right? Verse 6. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, why does it say Judah and Jerusalem? For you dumbass fake Jews out here. Why does it say Judah and Jerusalem? What happened to the northern kingdom? Why didn't it say Judah and Simeon and everyone else? In the northern kingdom. Naphtali, Zebulun, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Naphtali. Well, where did they go? Alright? For the newcomers, for the new brothers, they were taken to America. You can read all about that history. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, I've gone into it many times. How the northern kingdom, they were taken out of their land, taken to Assyria, to serve hard bondage. Right? Most of them, not all of them, most of them left, and they took a boat and they went to a place far off. It took them, that was about a year and a half away. That place was called Arshan. Roughly, how you say it is Aratiza Akaraf, okay, which means land. Another Aratiza, land. Akaraf, which means another. Akaraf, okay, land, another. Subject, adjective. Land is the subject. Akaraf, another is the adjective. Okay, that's pretty simple, man. That's why I said, man, when those two little kids were there before, I asked, okay, what does Jew mean? He said, oh, I don't know. Jew means Judah. Jew means Judah. Okay? The northern kingdom, most of the northern kingdom, not all, most of the northern kingdom were taken out. Right? They left. They were not taken out, but left. They fled. Okay? That's why I said Judah. Mostly it was the southern kingdom that were in Judah and Jerusalem. We read about the New Testament. Most of the apostles, most of the disciples, Judah and Jerusalem. Alright? The kingdom of Judah, the southern kingdom. As well as some northern kingdom intermixed in there as well. This is the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 7. What was me? Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, to dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy. Right? Another word for enemy is Satan. Right? The hand of the adversary. Right? Satan is going into Esau, which is Satan's physical counterpart. Okay? There's also some other nations, the enemy, we know that as well. Other nations, Esau, Edom. Alright, moving on. When it was delivered to the hand of the enemy, in the sanctuary to the hand of strangers, her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away to captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. They were killing babies back then, killing young men.